Good day, and welcome to Radio Tourettes, you shit monkeys. Today we are going to do a very brief commentary about several very important things, one of which is quickscoping, which I think is a phenomenon that's really, there's no way to practice it except to try a lot, which sounds very, very pedantic and shallow, and it is. We will also be talking about how the piercing shot is not necessary by any means in being a commando of any skill. Although, to be fair, it takes very little skill to play this class anyway, so that's not saying much. And finally, we will be talking most importantly about the ELO ranking system, which a lot of people have asked me about. So with that in mind, let's jump right in. This is gameplay on Midnight Mayhem from Hercene, the baby commando. I've been recording a lot with him recently, just because the commando meta seems to have changed in the time it's taken since I leveled my last level 30 commando. And I wanted to have a sampling of it, so as to the first, quickscoping just seems to me to be the quick switching between scoped and non-scoped. I don't think it actually helps all that much, especially if your aim is good. The only plus side I find to it is that if you are getting hit by bullets which pull you out of the scope, then I guess you're more likely to hit targets that way. As to the second, piercing shot is not needed. I have not used piercing shot once on this commando, and I still do very well. My aim is practiced to a degree wherein it's not needed anymore, which is wonderful. So, I figure if your aim is good enough and you're going to hit the head most, if not all the time, then why bother? Piercing shot at the best of times is massively overpowered, much like the commando class in general. And I know that plenty of you are commando aficionados and such, but guys, really, you play a class that is invisible a good portion of the time, can two-shot any other class in the space of less than a second if your aim is competent, and even knifing, you still have advantages, even though Poison Blade is a very strange ability even at the best of times. That said, most importantly, we're going to talk about ELO in the last couple minutes of this. ELO is based on a Hungarian physicist. Well, I think it was Anton ELO, perhaps? Arpad ELO, excuse me, who developed a system for ranking people in chess based on their skill levels. And that was based on chess. That was the original system. It has since been expanded to include most online games. And what that means, essentially, is for BFH players, you are ranked based on your kills, based on your number of deaths, and based on your wins and losses. It also is based on your performance against players of an equal or greater ELO than yourself. So, higher level players who tend to play against lobies, I think we can all name a few there, typically speaking have much lower ELOs than, say, players who play against their own ELOs fairly frequently, or players who win more matches. Your ELO will increase based on three basic conditions. It will increase based on the wins and losses you have. It will increase based on your kills, your total kills, and it will increase if the number of deaths you have are lower by a certain margin. There is actually an equation for determining your ELO, but sadly it's a bitch to use, and honestly the rating system for Battlefield heroes is slightly dumb at the best of times anyway. Which is not to say that it's not a good benchmark, because I think we can all think of a few people whose ELOs seem just a trifle high, and with the advent of lots of new widgets and stupidly overpowered weaponry that certain people can have vastly inflated ELOs, and there's really nothing you can do about it. In any case, that is the gist of ELO. If you have a certain typically speaking, ELO in this game does not go above 1700 on a legitimate player, which is why we have certain others, certain Russian commandos, for instance, who have ELOs of 1849 or higher with a KDR of 42. This has been a commentary. I hope you all have enjoyed yourselves, and I'm out. Peace.